Hi, this is Sweet Life, and I'm Natasha, back with a recipe for making sweet potato casserole. I know some people are more fans of savory sweet potato dishes, but for those of you that like more sweet type sweet potato dishes, I think you'll enjoy this. It's not overly sweet, it's just a different way of making sweet potatoes. Really nice addition to the Thanksgiving table or for a Sunday night dinner. Let's get into it.
Okay, and so here I have some sweet potatoes. All I've done is I've just washed them, rubbed them with a little bit of oil, baked them in the oven until tender. You just poke them with the little paring knife. It should come out clean and tender. Get a bowl and peel the sweet potatoes. Taking care to remove the skin, like the little eyes, the ends as well. Because when you're eating the sweet potato casserole, you want it to be nice and smooth, to have a creamy, rich texture to it. You don't want to bite into skin or the eyes and these little, rough bits. So just take care to remove all of that stuff. Here I have the sweet potatoes. I'm just going to mash them with a potato masher. It's really just to break it up. It's not going to be fully smooth from this, but really just to loosen it up, to start the process of baking it down, getting it nice and smooth. So just with a potato masher, not while it's too hot, because you won't be able to handle it. Next, I have here just a handheld mixer, and that's really just to help lighten it up, to help make it even smoother. But I don't really want it to be liquid. It should still have the consistency of sweet potato. So now to this, I'm going to add some milk, some melted butter, some salt, cinnamon, and from there, that's going to be it for now. I'm just going to go ahead and blend it together. Just taking care to mix it, you want it to be nice and well incorporated. Mix it in, make sure that it's fully mixed in there so that you don't have some pockets with salt, some with cinnamon. So when you're done, you have even flavor throughout. Just take your time, go around the bowl, mix it with the mixer. If you need to, scrape down the sides. You want to get all of those seasonings well incorporated. A little bit of cinnamon. If you'd like, you could put some nutmeg. It's really up to you. If you'd like, you can do pumpkin spice, but I prefer to add individual spices so I could control what I'm adding in. At this point, I'm going to put in a little bit of white sugar. If you'd like, you can use brown. Really, you're the one that's going to have to eat it. You know your taste, you know your family's taste. So all of these things you adjust, you make according to your preferences. Pick, choose, refuse. It's all up to you. However much you want to add in, whether you want to leave things out, you want to substitute things, it's completely up to you. I would say to just give it a taste at this point so you can see maybe your sweet potatoes are super sweet, so you don't need as much sugar. Or maybe you're making this at a different time of year. The sweet potatoes aren't that great, so you might need a little bit more sugar. You might need a little bit more spice. Whatever it is, you adjust it to your needs. But take a moment just to give it a little taste at this point and adjust accordingly. So this way, when it's done, you've put together the recipe according to your particular sweet potatoes. In this case, I've gone ahead and added just a little bit more sugar just to give it some more flavor. But that's about it. So here I have my baking dish. I'm going to put the sweet potato into this and bake it in the oven. Just taking a spatula, just spooning it in, and I'm going to fill the dish up, put it into the oven. But actually, if you wanted to have a different kind of presentation, what you could do is just take care after you roast the potatoes the first time, and instead split the sweet potatoes down the middle, scooping out the inside, but then just take care not to tear the skins. And at that point, once you get to the end and you're at this point, instead of putting it into a baking dish, you can actually take the sweet potato mixture and put it back inside of the sweet potato skins just to give it a different kind of presentation. And you'd bake that just as we're going to do here. But instead, I'm going to keep things simple and I'm just going to put it into the baking dish. This is the way that my family traditionally makes it. You can think of this as like a twice baked sweet potato where you've roasted it the first time with nothing added onto it, but here we've now mashed it, we've added some spices, some milk and things like that, giving it a nice rich creamy texture, and this is going to go back into the oven to just bake again. Those flavors are going to come together and it's going to give you like a different spin on sweet potato. All I'm doing here is just filling the pan, taking the time to just smooth the top with the spatula. It's not really fully necessary, but it helps to ensure that you get out any like air pockets from inside. So you don't want to pack it in, but you want to get the air out so that like when you're serving it up, you don't end up with like these air pockets, so that it bakes and cooks nice and evenly. Everything gets equal attention. So I'm just taking care just to smooth the top. I've just taken the spatula as well and kind of jiggled the mixture a little bit just to get any air out. And this, I am going to just take a moment just to clean off the edges to keep it looking nice and neat. And if you'd like, you can just bake it just like this. My grandmother liked to put raisins in it. I'm not a big raisin fan. Instead, what I do is I like to top it off with a little bit of marshmallow and some just instant oats. So like oatmeal. Just keep in mind though, if you choose to go the route with the marshmallows are sweet. So you want to take that into consideration when you're mixing the sweet potato casserole, that you adjust accordingly and scale back a little bit on the sugar so that it's not overly sweet. So here it is. I just got some mini marshmallows. I don't recommend using the large ones. They won't give you as good coverage. But these are just some miniature marshmallows. I'm just taking, not overly generous, but just spreading them over the top. If you'd like, you can certainly blanket the top in the marshmallow, but I want it to add just a little hint of sweetness, but I don't want it to be overly sweet. Because as far as I'm concerned, you already have the sugar in the casserole and you're now adding the marshmallow. It's like I wanted to have a hint of sweetness, but not to be like cloyingly sweet. I don't want it to be candy. So just a few little marshmallows over the top. You can see that you can see the sweet potato through the marshmallow. And as this bakes, they're going to brown. If you cover the top of it, they'll actually spread a little bit. But I don't want to overdo it with the marshmallow. I'm just going to sparingly cover the top. And pretty much that's about it. From here, I have the marshmallows in place. I'm going to go ahead and just sprinkle over a little bit of oatmeal. So like if you think of the rolled oats, if you'd like, you can actually do a mixture of that with like brown sugar, but I feel like that's just becoming way too sweet. But then again, your mileage might vary. It's really up to you. I like to add the oats because when you put them on top, you're going to put this into the oven. It's going to cook slowly. It gives you some complexity to the flavor and also the texture as well. You have this rich, creamy casserole with a little bit of sweetness, sort of caramelized flavor from the sweet potatoes. But then on top of that, you have a slightly different kind of sweet from the marshmallows, which is just like right on top. And then you have the oats, which toast up and have like this warm, earthy kind of toast to them when you eat it. So when you eat it at the end, you have like a combination of these different flavors and textures, which I just really like. If you'd like I said, you can sprinkle over just a little bit of sugar, which will just caramelize the top, give it a little bit of color, and it'll help it to crust. It'll help it to brown. And this is your finished sweet potato casserole. Just really nice, different side dish to put on the table. At this point, for me, it's pretty traditional. We generally have this every year. But I know a lot of other people, they do more candied yams and things like that, or just baked sweet potatoes. But I think this is like a different thing to put on the table. And if you wanted, you can go overboard. You can put more marshmallows, which are done brown and have like a really nice look to it. Or like I suggested, you can keep the sweet potato skins and serve the sweet potato casserole in the skins, which will look really pretty on your table. There you have it. Thanksgiving sweet potato casserole. Thanks for tuning in. To ensure you don't miss any episodes, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, and check out my Cooking at Home playlist. Go ahead and click that thumbs up button if you like what you saw, and go ahead and share it on social media.